Welcome to iLecture Here we're going to talk about the Ephemeris Parameters. There are 16 of them, and notice that 6 of them are part of that set that we saw in the previous video, which are what we call the Main ORbital Parameters. Let's go over the first 6. We have the mean anomaly at reference time, so that is at some time in the period. So we take a fraction of the time of the period and we see where the satellite is located relative to the perigee. That's the mean anomaly at reference time. The eccentricity is an indication of how elliptic the orbit is. Instead of just giving us the semi-major axis, they give us the square root of the semi-major axis, which means that we'd have to make one less calculation to figure this out. Then we have the inclination angle at reference time. So again, that's the inclination of the plane of the orbit relative to the reference plane, which is the equatorial plane of the Earth. We have the argument of perigee, which is the distance from where the satellite goes through the equatorial plane to the location, the angular distance to the location where the perigee is located. And then instead of giving us the angle from the reference position, which is the prime meridian on the equatorial plane, to where the satellite goes through the equatorial plane, they actually give us the rate of that right ascension, the rate of change of that angle, which again, that allows us to do less calculations by directly getting that. It is, in addition to that, they give us what we call the mean motion difference from the computed value. So we have a theoretically computed value, but then we can see that there's going to be some delta, some difference between the calculated motion and the actual mean motion. The difference between those, they give that information as well. They also give us the rate of the inclination angle. Even though I had mentioned that the angle of inclination stays fairly stable, it's not zero. I mean, the change is not zero, so we do need to take into account that that also changes over time, even if it's a small amount, because that will affect the GPS quality data, or the quality of the GPS data, I should say, and therefore we need to take into account the rate of the inclination angle. So this is I, the inclination angle dot, which is the derivative with respect to time, so I dot is the rate of change, it should say, of the inclination angle. Then we have these 6 constants here. These are amplitude constants of a sine or a cosine function. C means cosine, S means sine, and U represents the latitude, R represents the orbit radius, and I represents the angle of inclination. And notice that there will be sinusoidal undulations or changes of those parameters, the latitude, the orbit radius, and the angle of inclination. And so we have equations that we had that describe those changes, those undulations, those sinusoidal changes, and so we need to have the amplitude of those equations. So essentially that it's going to be some amplitude times the cosine or the sine of some argument, and so these are the amplitude factors that we need to put into those equations. Then finally we have 2 more items. We have the TOE, the time of ephemeris. In other words, we need to know, remember that the ephemeris data usually is sent in blocks of 4 hours. We send 6 blocks every 24 hours. The ephemeris data is therefore good for a 4-hour period, and we want to know where in that 4-hour period we are, so that's the time of ephemeris. And then the IODE is the issue of data ephemeris. We need to know which data set we're dealing with. Are we dealing with the first, the second, the third, the fourth, and so forth? So that's what this parameter is. It tells us which ephemeris data set we're working with, and then if we don't get new ones sent after 24 hours, that means we need to keep using older ones. So they also send up additional data sets which are therefore not quite as accurate but good enough to keep us going in the future for days and days to come, and we need to know what data set we're using. So they go from 4-hour blocks to 6-hour blocks to 12-hour blocks. Again, those are all sent up every 24 hours, and we want to know which of those data blocks we're actually using in that particular case. So those are the 16 ephemeris data definitions or parameters that we need for keeping track of where the satellite is at all points in time. And that is how it's done.